Now, welcome to See the Stories. We're finally in our final hour, and it's always, as always, the signature segment of the 3-hour news show. Now, last week, the United Nations held a forum where it gathered young people or youth from around the world to discuss global issues and promote collective action for a sustainable world. Let's take a look.
Is the forum that took place from April 16 to 18 this year provided a global platform for dialogue among member states and young leaders from around the world on solutions to challenges affecting youth well-being. It also served as a unique space for young people to share their vision and actions, as well as provide an opportunity to advance youth solutions to accelerate the implementation of 2030 Agenda and the Sustainable Development Goals. And the 2024 forum's discussions were guided by the overall theme of the 2024 Ecosoc and high-level political forum on reinforcing the 2030 Agenda and eradicating poverty in times of multiple crises, the effective delivery of sustainable, resilient, and innovative solutions.
That's certainly a mouthful for a title,
yeah.
Right? Now, of course, Indonesia still now several members of the youth to participate in the Ecosoc Youth Forum 2024, including somebody we have in the studio today.
Yeah.
We have Raihan Zahirah. Hello, welcome.
Welcome back. Actually, you
Yes,
been here before, right?
Yeah. So this is an exciting time. First things first, many may not be familiar with what the Ecosoc Youth Forum actually is. Could you explain to us what this particular forum is and how young people are contributing in this forum?
Okay, so Ecosoc is one of the 6 main body in United Nations where it lays all the focus on economic, social, environmental, culture, and human rights. And annually, Ecosoc Youth Forum empowers young people to contribute to the United Nations policy by sharing their ideas and also innovative solutions. Moreover, it also fosters dialogue on youth well-being challenges, including, like, for example, like health, economic, for example, like unemployment, but it also like showcasing youth-led action, which also can advance sustainable development goals, especially for the United Nations. For this year's summit, the theme that they brought will be like reinforcing 2030 agenda, and also like eradicating poverty during the multiple time crisis. Moreover, there are also like several goals that is highlighted during this year's forum. For example, like SDGs number 1, which is zero poverty, SDGs number 2, zero hunger, SDGs number 13, climate action, SDGs number 16, peace, justice, and strong institution, and last but not least will be number 17, which is partnership for the goals itself. And for this year, since United Nations will have the Summit of the Future that will be held in the September 2024. So therefore, the forum also provides like a platform for the youth to create sort of like a pact for the future.
Thank you for explaining in a brief nutshell of your activities. So it's been last week, right? If I'm not mistaken, you were there.
Yeah.
So, like, how many people did you meet? From how many countries? And what kind of exciting experience, besides, of course, following the conference? Yeah.
Okay, so there were, I think, almost like 400 people right there from 193 countries. Moreover, there were also like several activities that we attended, not only just like plenary session, but also during the event itself, there were also like side events which conducted by the subsidiary organization of United Nations. So for instance, like me and the other delegate, we also attended like a session with the Minister of Youth from the Bahrain. We talking about like King Hamad Award, how this award can also like contribute to the advancement of sustainable development goals by providing recognition to youth around the world who have like impact towards the community. Next, also we also attended like World Intellectual Property Organization side events regarding like how can we like mapping the skills that is needed for youth to drive innovation and also sustainable future. Moreover, we also attended like side events from Y20. So it is not only just like discussing about the Ecosoc itself, but also like there were plenty of subsidiary organizations.
How long were you there?
5 days.
5 days.
5 days.
A really compact activities
Wow.
and side events, right?
Like, talk us through like what a day looks like within these 5 days, because you have the main plenary every single day, right?
Every single day.
And then you have the side events after.
Yeah.
So what time do you start and what time do you finish during the day?
So we usually woke up at like 6, then after that at 8 we had like a briefing with the permanent mission of Indonesia in New York, because we need to ensure that all of the speech, all of the point of view is aligned with the one that is
So you got the
coming
brief
from the government.
Mr. Amarnata.
Yeah,
as your-
Mr. Yeah, that's true.
I like that. Look at you connecting with very, very important people. That's so cool.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this legitimizes, you know, a lot of people seem to think that when these kind of forums happen, that young people just sit there, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But you actually have just, you know, briefly explained that no, you have to write speeches and you have a responsibility to represent, you know, Indonesia's vision. And what else? Come through.
Yeah, after the 8 a.m. briefing, then we directly headed into like breakfast with all of the 6 delegates of Indonesia. And afterwards, we went to the UN to attend like plenary session up until like 12 p.m. Then we proceed to have like a networking lunch, for example, like with the other delegates coming from other countries. And afterwards, we will have like side events up until 3 p.m. And from 3 p.m. up until 6 p.m., we will have another plenary. So
Wow, it's really packed.
Yeah, they're doing what diplomats do on a daily
Yes.
basis. So, do you see yourself in the future, perhaps, you know, being an Indonesian delegate in the actual UN, you know,
Yeah.
forum?
Because you've got this
Yeah.
experience. So back to the really basic question: how did you get selected? I mean, how were you selected to represent Indonesia at the forum from the 6 delegates of Indonesia, right?
yeah, so I was registering myself 2 months ago into the registration form because it was like a public selection process.
Oh.
Yeah, I was writing regarding for essay, for example, like my experience, my expertise, background, substance, and how I can like adding value and also contribute to the forum. Then afterwards, I was also like submitting several important documents as well. And after that, I was receiving the letter directly coming from the president of Ecosoc, Paula Narvaez, stating that I was invited to the forum for in-person attendance. Then afterwards, the Ministry of Youth and Sport Republic of Indonesia, they usually also like open the selection process to hire the accepted Indonesian participants to become the official delegate.
Wow, congratulations. You know, Kai, after this, I think Zahirah should make some coaching session for
Yeah.
the next delegates who wants to go there, because
Yes.
it's not an easy process, right?
No, and I really have to applaud you because the thing is not everyone knows where to find these opportunities.
Right.
Where did you find the link? Is it like a public link that is it from our Ministry of Foreign Affairs or is it from our Ministry of Youth? Or where did you find it?
So I found this this information from 2 sources. The first one will be from the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and the second one will be from the Instagram of a major group for youth and children of United Nations. So they usually posted that annually in their Instagram.
See, there you
Gen Z ways, you know, play social media.
We're too used to old school to be so, you know, overwhelmed with all this information, but they're actually important. It's easy, but for us, it's still hard, right? Oh, that's great. And you've mentioned a couple of issues, but what topics did you specialize on? Because I know that there are 6 delegates, and I know that every single delegate was chosen for their specific specialties, right? What were the issues that Indonesia brought forth at this forum?
Yeah, specifically for me, since my background is I'm currently working on a giant tech company as a technocrat, so I'm currently like specializing on digital transformation. So during the forum itself, I was centering my focus on the plenary session with the title of Youth and AI, Challenges and also Opportunities. So there were several main points that I was delivering on during the session. The first thing will be like AI is rapidly transforming our world, and Indonesia is poised to be the forefront of this revolution because according to the data, it is estimated that AI will give a contribution to our national GDP by 366 billion US dollar. That's the
Wow.
first thing.
Wow. So you delivered that data, yeah?
Yeah,
To the
I was delivering
conference,
that. And the second thing will be, it is also important for us to equip youth with the technical and ethical skills in navigating and also shaping the future of AI, while also meeting the demand of evolving job market. Next thing will be, I was also like showcasing the program conducted by the government. So for instance, like from the Ministry of Informatics and Communication, they have a program called like Digital Talent Scholarship, which has like empowered 200,000 young people in Indonesia regarding digital skill. Next thing, we do have also like Bangkit Academy, a program led by Google, Gotok, and Traveloka in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Work. To sort of like train over like 15,900 people, including like students as well, to create AI-driven project or AI startup, which eventually led to like successful project incubation. So actually, I was showcasing those kind of things because I do believe that not all of the country have really good example of
Yeah.
public-private
Yeah.
partnership and
Yeah.
also cross-sectoral coordination.
You were showcasing the data about Indonesia related to AI. So how's the response? I mean, I think we believe that when we hear your explanation, we are so amazed with that. I mean, how about the forum when you deliver that?
Yeah, plenty of delegates from other countries also really appreciate the efforts done by government of Indonesia, because during the forum itself there were approximately like 10 countries also spoke in the forum, but there were no like specific example of best practices that the president of Ecosoc also really want to replicate into the other country. But when she heard my speech, she directly gives the ovation, because she believed that the government of Indonesia also has done a really great thing, especially through the public-private partnership in leveraging AI and also in making youth also can control over the AI.
Wow.
I mean, it is.
Standing ovation. Can you imagine that from the
it is
president of
amazing.
Ecosoc?
It's an amazing thing how people sometimes are so shocked that Indonesia is actually doing so much, right? and
Not just so well, so much, yes?
so much. And it is true. Indonesia actually is doing a lot for a lot of different things that I really do believe we need to find to shed a little more light on it and tell the story.
Yeah.
Right? She's shed a lot of light in regards to digital transformation, and I think that's so great, because I understand that a lot of countries probably have a lot of issues but not yet resolutions, right? So there you go. There you go. But you also spoke, you've, apart from AI, how important do you think, having gone to this forum, is Indonesia's voice in international forums such as Ecosoc?
Yep. So if we look back to like 2 years ago, Indonesia was the chairman of like G20, MITA, and also ASEAN, right? For example, like G20, Indonesia is the member of world's largest economies group, where it also like possesses a significant influence in shaping global economic policy, same as with ASEAN and also MITA. So by attending the UN Ecosoc for Youth Forum, it also like provide 3 implications towards Indonesia. The first thing will be like the value proposition that we can offer will be Indonesia is having a significant total number of population. We are the country with the world number 4th largest population in the world. So when we're bringing Indonesia into the international fora, it means that we're also representing a substantial number of view and concern globally. Second thing, Indonesia also is an emerging economy, because our growing economy and potential make our value proposition also more valuable when it comes to like having a conversation regarding trade, investment and also development.
Yeah.
And third will be we're also a middle power country and bridge builder, because we do have long-standing history of like being non-alignment and also having promoting like a dialogue between different political blocs and also promoting regional cooperation. So I do believe from this implication it also can provide a positive impact toward Indonesia itself by fostering national development, because without attending international forum we will never know regarding what kind of like best practices, knowledge exchange and also like network that we can leverage to also like guide the government in the local level to have a really good program regarding how to, for example, like how to solve unemployment, how to navigate the AI, and how to like, for example, like having a really good food security within the country.
Nice. I just have one follow-up question. So after you've been gaining this knowledge, because I really appreciate the fact that you are representing Indonesia's voices, and we are one of the largest populations in the world in every sort of way. After this particular experience, is there any way that you have to meet the government and actually make a presentation about what we heard other countries were doing and things like that, and what your proposal on what Indonesian government can do to learn more, or perhaps other initiatives that they can do?
Definitely, because during the post forum, we should conduct, for example, like dissemination and also advocacy to other stakeholders, not only for the public sector, but also for the private sector. For example, like during the summit itself, we brought several ideas that we think we can replicate that in Indonesia. For example, like Pact of the Future or Summit of the Future, because some of the Indonesians sometimes they are not familiar with SDGs, but right now UN already have like new term as well that we the government should also like disseminate that into our community. It's called like Pact for the Future. So that's one of the things that we will propose. Second thing regarding the UN Youth Delegate Program. So United Nations also usually like they will provide every year, for example, like 2 up until like 5 youth to sit in the General Assembly in September. So that program we also think that we can also like invite other people or other youth in Indonesia to come into the UN and providing recommendation during the General Assembly. Third thing will be regarding this is also inspired by our side event, with the Office of High Commissioner on Human Rights and also UNESCO. So at that time, the side event emphasized regarding how youth can shape transformative education regarding human rights using technology. Because I think human rights is also like a basic thing that all of the youth in Indonesia should know about. So that's also one of the things that we will propose to the government as well.
Wow.
Love it.
It's getting more amazing.
Yeah,
your effort and a lot of...
You seem so motivated. Look at how she shines. You know, her eyes really shine.
and how fluent of her explanation too.
I love it.
Yes.
I'm motivated.
Yeah.
The future looks bright for us here in Indonesia.
Yes. So can we say that the Pact of the Future is like another term for SDGs actually, or?
Yes.
Because SDG is like a kind of things that not just hard to remember but hard to understand. So it comes with a new term. You may say you saw that.
So Summit of the Future is an event that can ensure the continuity of Sustainable Development Goals for the post 2030. Because for the post 2030, we should also think about how if the SDGs cannot be met, for example, how if the indicator cannot be fulfilled. So Summit of the Future aim to revitalize and also revisit global cooperation, multilateralism, and also like solving the most pressing challenge issue. And the outcome from the Summit of the Future in September will be Pact for the Future, which outlining the key commitment and also action-oriented action. And it also like setting the focus on 5 key things. So for the Pact of the Future, the first thing will be climate action. Second thing regarding new technologies. Third will be global justice. Fourth regarding reforming international institutions. And last but not least will be regarding peace and security.
Reforming international institutions and peace and security. Much needed. I mean, the world will certainly look like a different place in 5 to 6 years. And we appreciate that they're so forward thinking that you get to start thinking about it, right? So don't go anywhere because we're going to take a short break, but Raihan is going to stay with us because we're going to have her still and continue with our bombardment of lots of questions. After the short break, don't go anywhere, stay tuned.
And of course the game.